What's up, out there, those? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another ammo check. And yeah, it's another Sunday, another cold day here in England. And yeah, another day of football, man. Another day of football. I think FA Cup is still going. But our match is done. Obviously, we got the win. And yeah, man, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling real good, man. I'm feeling good about the season. I'm feeling good about how we started this month. I mean, it honestly, if you look at kind of the way we've been playing, it's been ugly, man. It's been ugly. It hasn't been the greatest style of football. But at this point of the season, last 90 days, the style doesn't matter as much as the result. And we've been winning. And you can't be upset with that. You can't be upset with the fact that we have been winning. We've been winning the league. We just won in the FA Cup with rotating most of our squad. Trying what looked like a new formation. And yeah, man, now we've got Champions League. Champions League's coming back. We got one more Prem game, and then at the end of the month, it's the Carabao Cup, man. It's the Carabao Cup. But yeah, man, all in all, it's been all right. As I said in the last couple videos, I'm just not gonna moan about the way we play, the style of play. It's too late for that now. It's too late to moan about our style of play. Now all that matters is getting results. And if there was a team that's good at it, it's Manchester City. It's Manchester City. We know that they have a history, especially when it comes to us, of chasing us down. But that Manchester City team that I'm seeing out there is not the one. It's not the Great Blue Shark. It's not the one that has, how do I say, stopped us from winning the title. They just don't look like the same team. So, I'm not that pressed, to be honest. I still take note of them, but I think that this title, especially, is Arsenal's to lose. I think that it's down to us to play well. It's not, we can't wait for City to drop points. We can't wait for, anyone else around us to drop points. It has to be us. It has to be us picking up points and forcing them to make decisions. And that's where I'm at now with the whole thing. But yeah, man, all in all, if you'd asked me, 1 week into March, what do you think we can get from this? I definitely want wins, and we got wins. So, can't be upset. Big up, John Proper Chelsea. I see you're back to Chelsea. Have you switched back? Have you decided to just go with Chelsea in the end? Or are you still weighing up the decision? Yeah, I know, listen, because it's my channel, and because, it's kind of hard to speak about things in the chat. Let's just start with that, because it's Arsenal related. I picked my team. So I picked Arsenal, as you can probably tell. I'm not from London. I had no prior knowledge. I knew of Arsenal, but I had no prior kind of allegiance to Arsenal before I chose them. And yeah, man. So when it comes to picking a sports club, I know how tough it can be. I'll give you my own personal story. American football, I'm from Miami. However, my parents were not Miami Dolphins fans. My parents were not Miami Hurricanes fans. My parents were Dallas Cowboys fans. My dad was a Dallas Cowboys fan. And I think my mom just kind of jumped on the bandwagon because she loved my dad. But growing up, yeah, there weren't Dolphins fans in my house, man. There were Cowboys fans. We had to watch Cowboys games, bro. I had to watch, Thanksgiving Cowboys games. So I know what it feels like to have kind of your family, love one team and you love another. However, when it comes to picking a team, in my opinion, a lot of people say, oh, you go with your parents' team. And that makes sense to a degree, because usually if your parents have supported something, they relate to that club. especially when it comes to like London. The different clubs in London relate to the different parts of London, the different upbringings. Like a Chelsea fan might not always have the same upbringing as a Tottenham fan or an Arsenal fan. I think it's very kind of area based. Whereas America, like the Dallas Cowboys, they have half a state. You know what I'm saying? The Houston Texans, Dallas Cowboys. There's a lot more area. For me personally, I always chose a team based on how the team. I like the team ethos. I have to like the team, history. I have to feel like that team speaks to me. And I tell the story about how I started following Arsenal. My friend was a Chelsea fan too. My friend was a Chelsea fan, and I do have a Chelsea jersey in there. I had another friend, a Liverpool fan, so I have a Liverpool jersey in there. Daniel Sturridge is my favorite player. He played for Liverpool. I like Didier Drogba. I probably shouldn't say that as an Arsenal fan, but those are the two. I have a Drogba jersey. I have a Sturridge jersey. Those are the two non-Arsenal jerseys I have. So when in the early bit before I settled on a club, I looked at different clubs. I got a closet full of different teams in there. Just because I'm a fashion guy. I like football kits. But when it came to the Prem, I was just trying to find a team that spoke to me. So, looking at Chelsea matches and reading up on Chelsea, to me, the club ethos didn't speak to me. Like, with the whole Abramovich thing, how they came, basically a money club, it didn't speak to me. And then Liverpool came up, and, Liverpool a very family-oriented team. They're very community-based team. But the Northern thing just, it wasn't, it wasn't there for me. But for me, Arsenal spoke to me, one, because they're a club of inclusivity. They also were a club that had black players, and so did Liverpool. They're a club that is multicultural. Like, coming from a place like Miami, like, being multicultural, like, is kind of a Miami thing. It's how Miami rolls. So I wanted a club that had that in them, And you go around and you see, Arsenal and everything. And then, there was Man United. And my thing with Man United was, growing up in South Florida, you see so many Man United fans. And I didn't want a club that everybody else supported. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I like to be against the grain. So for me, Arsenal spoke to me. And then I moved to Spain. Love Sevilla because I was living near Sevilla. And then I went to London and I saw Arsenal Stadium for the first time. I saw the history. I saw what it meant to the people that worked there. I saw what it meant to the fans. And I just knew it was a club for me, man. Like, that's it. And it might be the same for somebody who likes Chelsea or somebody who likes Liverpool. Everybody has their reasons. For me, Arsenal just felt the closest to, especially being, a team that went undefeated or invincible. This team, has gone undefeated. The Dolphins have gone undefeated. So, like, moving from your home to another, like, I felt that stuff as an American football fan. So, for me, the parallels were just too big to ignore. So, that's how I became an Arsenal fan. John says, my heart says Arsenal, my mind is saying Chelsea. I always go with the heart, man. I'm a heart guy. I like Arsenal because it feels like I'm part of a family and love the players and history. But I just followed my friends and I want to switch, but I hope I don't get judged. Listen, about judgment, bro, the only person that can judge you is the higher powers, man. That's how I live life. People can say what they want. But, your friends, your friends like Chelsea, but you're an Arsenal fan, man. Your family's an Arsenal fan. Like, it's easy, and I don't know how old you are, but it's easy to follow the crowd. And I get it, man. I get it that you want to fit in, you want to make friends, you want to, have a group of people that you relate to. But if they're really your friends, bro, whether you like Arsenal or you like Chelsea, they'll still like you, bro. They'll still be friends with you. They should still be friends with you if you're really your friends, bro. Like, some of my closest friends in the UK, bro, they are Arsenal fans, bro. They're not. One of my friends, man, he's a great guy. Coach with him, that guy is a Pompey fan and he hates Arsenal. And he told me the exact day that he started hating Arsenal. Like, but if he's your friend, cool, bro. And when I talk to Arsenal about him, he'll take the mic. You know, some of my friends from back home, some of my friends from Miami, they United fans, bro. My phone blows up every time Arsenal lose. I got two United fans from South Florida, bro, jumping in. My phone vibrates like it's the apocalypse, man. And I got the codes. Like, that joint just doesn't stop vibrating. But guess what? They still my friends, bro. I get it. I get where you want to, but football is the great connector. You shouldn't just jump in and say, I like Chelsea because you guys like Chelsea. You got to be your own person. If your heart is saying Arsenal, wear it, whether we good or not. I've had to take a lot of banter, bro. I've been a fan for 10 years. I started supporting this club in 2016 when it was the banter era. You know, the banter era is when I started supporting the club. So, yeah, man, I started supporting this club. We was getting bashed 10-2 by Bayern. You know, we was leaking in goals. I had to watch Mustafi and Mertesacker and Kolasinac. Oh, man. Carl Jenkinson. Like, I joined this club during what people will say were dark days. But the club itself, you know, it felt like my thing. I could have joined Chelsea. I could have said, you know, Chelsea were winning. They were in Champions League in the league. I could have joined Liverpool. They were on the up. They won the league. I don't regret one second my decision, because it's not just about what we win. It's about the club itself too. And I know that's kind of contradictory because I say we need to win trophies. But when it comes to choosing a club, it has to feel right for me. It has to feel right. And if you've supported them and in your heart, you know, you love your family and you feel like it's the club for you. But the thing is, order the flag of Chelsea and jersey, and sell them on Vinted, bro. If you're in the UK, sell them on Vinted. Somebody buy them off of you. Get some of your money back. I don't know, man. I can't tell you how to feel, John. I can't tell you how to feel. All I would say is, at the end of the day, bro, it's based on what can you sleep with at night. You know, and I get it, bro. I get it. Just choosing a sports team is hard sometimes, bro. Especially like I said, I've been there. You know, I've been to, you know, being an Arsenal fan and joining when I did in 2016, bro, it hurts sometimes because in the back of your mind, you're always like, bro, Chelsea, I could have been at the top. Liverpool, I could have been at the top. But you can look at that in any walk of life. If I chose the Cowboys, I probably would have seen more playoff wins. But I didn't. I joined the Dolphins, the Hurricanes. You know, my dad likes Florida State. You know what's crazy? I've watched all of my parents' teams, except for the Cowboys, but all of my parents' teams win a championship before I've watched my teams win a championship. But I don't regret it, man. I don't regret one bit, because for me, it's the club that speaks to me. Arsenal's my club. The Hurricanes are my club. The Dolphins are my club. They represent me, and I represent them. I am proud to wear this Arsenal jersey. Whether we could get I don't think we'll ever get relegated, but we could get relegated. And guess what? I'm still going to wear my jersey around town. I'm still going to be proud to be an Arsenal fan. And John, that's the question you have to ask yourself. Like, will you be proud of whatever choice you make? Win, lose, draw. That's the question you have to ask yourself. Arsenal was it for me. Win, lose. I joined them when they was down, and I'm hoping that they win. But if they don't, guess what? I'm still going to be an Arsenal fan because I love the club and I love what the club represents. Sometimes I cry when Arsenal lose and I have an Arsenal banner shirt. Arsenal. Then that's your club, bro. Don't give in to peer pressure. It's easy. I get it. I get it being young. I was young one. I mean, I'm only like in my 30s, but, you know, I get there, man. I get that. You know, when I was watching, being a Dolphins fan, and I can only speak for American football when it comes to this because that's what I started following when I was a youngster. Being a Dolphins fan, bro, was tough. I got friends who are Patriots fans. They've watched their team win 5 Super Bowls, 6 Super Bowls. I have yet to see my team win a playoff game. I'm 33 years old. I haven't seen my team win a playoff game, but I don't regret it because the Dolphins are my team. They're who I love the Dolphins. I can never love the Patriots like I love the Dolphins. I can never love the Pittsburgh Steelers like I love them. I just can't. They're not my team. If I work for them, could I maybe, if I work for the Cowboys, could I have some love for them? Yeah, because I work for them. They're my employer. But I'll never have that love that I have for Miami. Even if I work for them 26 years, maybe it'll change. Maybe it would change if I work for them 25 years. Maybe. But I would still have my Dolphin socks under there. It's just me. If I work for Tottenham, I would still have white and black Arsenal socks. I get some made. Because that's my team. So, at the end of the day, John, that's what you got to ask yourself, man. Will you be proud of whatever team you choose? And if you choose that team, stick with it, bro. Whether you're friends or not. Guess what? You might lose the friends you got. I'm assuming you're school age. You might lose some of your friends in school, but guess what? You'll find some more that are Arsenal fans. One of my ex-housemates, man, I love that guy to death. Love that guy to death, bro. He's a Chelsea fan. But, he's a friend of mine. And we're still going to be friends. We just support different teams, and that's fine. But I'm a football guy, so I could talk about Chelsea. I could talk about United. Even my United mates. I could take my Arsenal hat off and say, dang, this is what's going on with United. Like, I could do that for Spuds as well, but you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, John, I went on a tangent there, but yeah, you just got to do what feels good for you, man. That's it. If you feel like it's Arsenal, stick by them. And when you're having a tough time with your friends, your family are Arsenal fans. Talk to them. Get that support, man. I'm sure you'll find Arsenal. Yeah, I don't know where you're from, but I'm sure you'll find Arsenal supporters. Arsenal, big club. It's up to you. Should you go change your YouTube name? Do what makes you feel good, man. Do what makes you feel good. I don't want to give you life advice. Who is a bigger club, Arsenal or Chelsea? I would say bigger is Arsenal. Better recently is Chelsea. You can't. I can't dispute that. Last 10 years, I've seen Chelsea win everything. Last 10 years, I've only seen the FA Cup. So, the better kind of overall squad, yeah, I would say Chelsea. But the bigger squad, bro, when I go home to America, I ain't seeing Chelsea shirts out in the streets. I see Man United. I see Arsenal. I ain't seeing Chelsea or Spurs, bro. I'm not seeing City shirts out in the streets. I'm from South Florida. I know at least 4 Arsenal supporters clubs. I know 1 Spuds club. And I don't know any Chelsea supporters bars out there. And the only reason I know the Spuds club is one of the guys in there, one of his friends is a Spuds fan, and they take the mickey out of him. And it's also, I think it's also the England club when people go watch England. But other than that, man, we got 4 Arsenal supporters club. You know what you should do, John? Where do you live? Do you live in London? Do you live near London? When you got time, it might be slow because the chat is slow. But yeah, I live in the Caribbean. All right, cool, right? Because I was gonna say if you lived in London, I think it's a little bit different. I would just say this is what you should do. All right, you live in the Caribbean. YouTube is free. Obviously, you watching me, right? What I would whatever you do, right? Go watch a documentary. Watch 1 documentary from Chelsea, 1 documentary from Arsenal. Right? Don't just pick the winning stuff. Pick about the club, right? And whichever club speaks to you, that's the one you choose, bro. But I already know what the answer gonna be. As a person in the Caribbean as well, bro. Like all the Caribbean, man, we had at Arsenal as well. Or, affiliated. Because, you have French man who might be Caribbean, Spanish who might be, you get what I'm saying. But, yeah, man, just pick the one, you know what I'm saying. I'm surprised you're not a United fan being in the Caribbean. I feel like everybody, all of my Jamaican bros, you know, most of my Jamaican dudes are United fans, and the ones who aren't are Arsenal fans. So that makes a lot more sense. Arsenal, my favorite player is second game. Bro, you know the answer then. You know the answer to your question. I'm Jamaican, but bro, you know the answer to the question. Just do it. Your friend, you'll find friends everywhere. And what I would suggest to you too, you better hop on the bandwagon before we win something, cause boy, you definitely gonna get judged if you hop before the bandwagon. But yeah, man, do what feels good for you. That's a good question though, right? It's a good question. Do what feels right to you. But I would say the same thing to anyone, bro. Anyone, whether they like Chelsea or United, the club has to speak to you. If you're picking a club, it has to speak to you. That's what I think. The best thing to do is pick a club that speaks to you. Now, if you've been ingrained in a club and you change, it's a little bit different. But me, I was never ingrained into the Cowboys thing. My parents were just Cowboys fans. I was allowed to pick the team. And luckily for me, my late uncle, he said, pick the hometown team. You a Miami kid. You Latino. Pick the Dolphins. And I love the guy. And I did. Because that's my team. I'm from Miami. I'm a Miami boy. That's my thing. So I picked the Miami teams. And I know it's easy to pick the hometown team. Not everybody does, but even if, you know, the only thing that I haven't picked that's like hometown, I can't support the USA national team. If you's on the Waffle House, you already know I can't do it. That is the one team, the U.S. national football soccer team. I can't do it. I have a USA. I have two actually. I have two USA jerseys. One of them was the black one, and had the red and the blue arms like France had a couple years ago. I needed it because I am American. And the other one is Josie Altidore because he was from the area. He was Haitian. So for me, he was one of the hometown kids. I always rep the hometown dudes, if they were doing national stuff. But other than that, you'll see England, you'll see Spain, but you won't see a lot of U.S. in my closet, unfortunately. Puerto Rico first. I got Puerto Rico. I have as many Puerto Rico jerseys as I have U.S. jerseys. And if you know anything about Puerto Rico, their football kits are so hard to find because they're not that great. And they're usually made by smaller providers. I think the one now is made by, who is it made? Hummel. So, yeah, it might be easier to source, but yeah. So I'm Puerto Rico first, and then usually whatever kind of place I'm living in. I'm not changing. This is there. I stick to the club in my heart. What should my name be? I don't know, man. I don't know. Whatever. The reason why you chose Arsenal, that maybe that should be included in your name. Like for me, my name Gooner Rican. My wife came up with that. I did brainstorming for ages. And she said, "You Puerto Rican, you like Arsenal. So, why don't you just go Gooner Rican?" My wife is a genius with that kind of stuff. But yeah, she said, "Why don't you just go Gooner Rican?" And it stuck, bro. It stuck. People call me that now on the YouTube spaces. So yeah, I'm Puerto Rican and I love Arsenal. I love sports as well, but that's what the Waffle House is for. But yeah, that's a good question. You have to do what you feel. Take a few days and brainstorm, bro. Brainstorm. I did see the Arsenal thumbnail, which I thought was cool. And then you went back. Yeah, bro, just follow your heart and stick with it. Just say, you know what, this is it. Whether good, bad, ugly, I'm gonna stick with it. And it might be ugly. You might see Chelsea win something, and it might suck. Me, I was never gonna pick Spuds. I was never gonna pick United. So it came down to Chelsea, Arsenal, and Liverpool, and I picked Arsenal, and it sucks because I've seen the other two teams win, but I don't regret it. There's no regrets here. I don't regret choosing my team. So that's all I can say on that one, right? But I'm glad you chose something, and I hope you stick with it, man. I hope you stick with it, and I hope it makes you feel good. Look at that, solid, right? Solid. There you go, Jonathan the Gunner TV. Welcome to the Arsenal family. Right? It's gonna be a great ride. Might get bantered. Might not win much. Or we might win everything and then you feel good. But yeah, no worries. No worries, man. There's nothing to thank me for. You just have to go with what you feel and how you feel, man. Appreciate the sub as well. But let's talk about Arsenal. Because we're 30 minutes in. But I like to talk to the community. This was called a community show. And this is what I'm here to do, man. I want to talk to the community, want to talk to. So I see there's 3 viewers. If there's anybody else who, want to talk, want to ask questions, want to put their comments in, make sure you ask, man. I'm an open book today. I'll probably be on for an hour 15. But I just want to talk Arsenal, man, because that's why we're here. We're Arsenal fans. So the FA Cup, a lot of people were talking about it. A lot of people talking about our performance. Don't care. I don't care. Let me see. There was a comment that was made on one of my videos. Let me see if I can find it. Because I had a tough time yesterday trying to figure out what kind of formation we were playing. Because I did think it was a back 3. But we was just all over the joint, bro. So, let me see. Here's a comment. Because he did shout out to Steven Soto 390. But yeah, he came. Was it Steven? Yeah. So he said we tried a 3-5-2 system, which I thought that's what it looked like. I thought it looked like a 3-5-2, which you could tell yesterday that we weren't very used to running it. But besides that one, goal that they had, even though we were doing the system, we were kind of all over them. My biggest issue, and it doesn't matter what formation we're in, what we're running. I think that our attackers are just not confident. And I think it's because of the way that our system had been. I think that sometimes when you're an attacker in our system, our manager prefers you to take the safe shot. Our manager prefers you to take the high percentage shot. And sometimes that means that you take an additional touch in the box, or you try to, go sideways or do something, and it results in you not actually getting a shot off. And it was one thing that I had a problem with seeing Odegaard. Odegaard's in the box. He's got a chance to shoot from, the edge of the box. And instead of shooting, he feints, takes another touch, and then tries to get a shot. Then he shoots it into the defender instead of just taking it shot first time. And we saw that our last couple goals have been kind of taking the shot. Esa's goal, he opens, he gets a little space out, near the edge of the box, outside the box. I'm gonna whack it, see what happens. Oh, what? Goal. Madueke, I'm gonna whack it, see what happens. Go. Now Madueke's issue is every time he whacks it, the third or fourth whack, it's ending up in Rose Ed and outside of the stadium. But at least he's taking an opportunity. We saw the goal with Saka. He takes a shot and it deflects off the keeper's ankle. But he took the shot. He could have passed it 18 times and just pass. But he took the shot. And I think the more games we play and the more games coming up, I'm starting to see more of those shoot it first time. But you have to understand that we are 30 games in. We're not 3 games in. We're not 10 games in. We're 30 games in. So asking our attackers to do something different than they've been doing for majority of the season, it's a tough ask, man. It's a very tough ask. And it's a confidence thing. I think our attackers have to get their confidence back. So when it comes to kind of yesterday's performance, I I gave everybody a 7. You can't rate them too low because we haven't been playing well. It doesn't matter where we've been. Attacking sense, we haven't been playing that great. Although we do have over 100 goals. But it's not like we're free flowing in attack. And I don't think we're going to be. I think, hoping that we're going to be free flowing in attack, it's not going to happen, man. I don't think it's going to happen at this time of the season. And if it does, it'll probably be the last 5 matches, or the last matches after City is when we'll start opening things up. But I think we're still going to play, semi-safe football. So yesterday's performance was all right for me. Like John said, results over performances. That's all I care about at this point. It's got to be 3 points. It's got to be progression. It's got to be getting through, the knockout stages of the Champions League. So yeah, man. I mean, it was good enough to get the points. And as I said yesterday, you already know that the pitch isn't that great. It's cold outside. And not making excuses, but, you aren't going to get that silky, passing and movement of the ball that you get when we're at the Emirates. It wasn't going to happen. So, yeah. It is what it is, man. We progressed. We find out, I think, tomorrow who we're facing in the next round. I'm cool with that. We move on. And Jonathan has segued me great into our next bit of conversation, which is the Champions League. We're playing Bayer Leverkusen this round of the Champions League. And Jonathan says Bayer Leverkusen game will be big. I want at least 3 goals. I agree. I think it's our time to kind of put a stamp on our Champions League run. The great thing about the Champions League now is we're going to play the first leg away. And I think that's big for 2 reasons. So I think it's big because you kind of know what you're going to need in the second leg. And even if you stumble, the second leg's at home. So you don't have to worry about going somewhere that's toxic. Well, not toxic, but like, just an atmosphere that bears down on you. And the German teams usually have big atmospheres. So yeah, when it comes to that, I think it's a great thing because playing the away leg first means most home teams are not going to sit behind the ball, right? I can't imagine Bayer Leverkusen being at home and putting 10 men behind the ball. You think their fans would accept that? No. Even if it's big, mighty Arsenal, nah, they're not going to allow it. So, I think that for that, it's good because usually when teams open and they come at us, we pick them off. That's when we thrive. When teams go back and forth, all we need is a little magic, 2 goals, and then it's pretty much it. So I think that bodes well for us. And Jonathan has asked, who would you start for that game? So what I think, and I'll do a match preview, but I think that a lot of the starters who didn't play this FA Cup match will start. So I think you're going to see Timber back in there. I think you're going to see our normal defense. It seems that Nkapie is getting the nod at left back a little bit more, especially now that Calafiore might have an injury. I don't know what the injury is. The midfield, we already know, Zubimendi, Rice. It's probably going to be Eza in front of them. And then the front 3, Saka, Gyökeres, and because Trossard went down, I think he'll play Martinelli, like you said, Jonathan. I think he'll play Martinelli. And Martinelli has been better in the Champions League. Because Martinelli can run at people. Martinelli can have a go. He's got a lot of space, and when Martinelli has a lot of space, he makes things happen. When he doesn't, he runs the ball out of play. So I would also rather Martinelli as well. And I think, like I said, if we're gonna play away from home and they actually come to play us, I would even, as much as it sounds crazy, I would even think about starting Madueke. I know he's gonna start Saka, but the way that I think, like, if you start Gyökeres, Madueke, Martinelli, and you have Eza behind them, first 30 minutes, just go with them. Run at them. Ping balls, run at them. See if you can get a couple goals. And then when you go a couple goals off, take off, Madueke, bring on Saka, and then Saka can put the game away. I mean, that's what I think he'll start Saka. And the only reason I say that is Saka, to me, still doesn't seem 100% fit. And I don't think he would be 100% fit with kind of the injury he's had. He's got to work back into it. But, yeah, man, I would try Saka, man. I would try Saka to come on later on with fresh legs. I know Saka can score a goal when they're gassed. That's what I would do. I'd probably do that. But, yeah, man, I think we'll see a lot of the players that didn't play against Mansfield Town, and I think that we'll go at them. I think we need to run at them. And I think if let's say we get a 2-goal lead in Leverkusen, we come back home to the Emirates, I think we're through. I think we're through the tie. And then, looking at that side, man, if we threw that tie, then you're gonna end up facing Bodo Glimt, and you're gonna end up facing Sporting Lisbon. And I would much rather Sporting Lisbon, and the reason I would much rather Sporting Lisbon, because I feel like the story behind Sporting Lisbon would be imagine Gyökeres scoring a brace or a hat trick at Sporting Lisbon in the Champions League. That man can't go back, bro. He can't go back. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think the story is there. But yeah, Leverkusen. Let me see, where are Leverkusen in the table, and did they play today? So, Leverkusen played yesterday. Bayer Leverkusen played yesterday. John says Bayer Leverkusen is very inconsistent right now. I was wondering if I could get mods since I'm part of the family. I honestly don't know how to mod yet. And I don't know how to do half the things with the chat yet. I'm surprised I even have it up on my computer. Yes, I'm, not that old, but when it comes to the YouTube thing, I'm still finding my feet. But I will remember that, Jonathan, when I do figure it out. Because I think, there are a couple guys in here that I would like to mod, but I have absolutely no idea how to do it. And that's now that my wife is gone for the week, that's probably what I'm going to work on, getting, that side of the things. Right now, I just kind of set up my camera and I record. I mean, I just started doing lives like 2 weeks ago. So, yeah, but I hear you. So, big up. I will remember you. Back to Bayer Leverkusen. They drew 3-3 to Freiburg. And let's see. Freiburg is 8th. Bayer Leverkusen is 6th on 44 points. Which they're in the European places. They're behind Bayern, Dortmund, Hoffenheim. Interesting. Stuttgart, Leipzig, and Leipzig. Leverkusen is 6th. Frankfurt and Freiburg round out the top 8. So, yeah, they're not. I mean, when you look at Bayern Munich, who have 66, and Dortmund, who have 55, and then Leverkusen on 44. I don't think they've got 13 wins, 5 draws, and 7 losses. Their league form isn't anything to write home about. But as we know, from previous Champions League and Europa League experience, Their form in their league does not matter. It only matters. It only matters what kind of we do. Big up Vigilante. Big up. You need to switch the setting on that allows raids. Views was trying to raid you. Like I just told Jonathan, I will look into it. I still don't know how to work the chat because he was asking about being a mod. I have no idea how to do it. I will try this week now that I have some free time. That I will try to kind of figure it out because I'm not entirely sure how it works at the moment. But yes, I didn't even know you had to have a setting that allowed people to raid you. So thanks for bringing that up, and I will write that down and I'll look into that as well. But yeah, John says our attackers need to have a good game. And they do. I think our attackers need to have a great game. I think that, at least in the Champions League where you get more space, there shouldn't be no excuse that players go into your YouTube studio on PC or laptop, not your phone, and switch it on. All right, let me try this while we're live then. I hope I don't lose you guys. Let's see. Like I said, I have no idea when it comes to this thing. I just started doing this, so but I appreciate all the help, and thanks for Vigilante coming in here and explaining how to do it. I probably would have looked it up. Look at the settings on YouTube Studio. Let me see if I can find it. It's loading. Oh, is it frozen? Have it frozen myself? Yeah, I'm not even sure. See. I think I've done it. I think I've done the all channels can do it. But it said that Vigilante has said that channels I subscribe to, and I definitely subscribe to views. So I don't know why it wouldn't have shown up because I think that was already clicked. But I have clicked both, and hopefully I don't lose that opportunity in the future. But yeah, I think I fixed it. So. But yeah, thanks Vigilante for coming in. Nat, I think that it's done. But yeah, as far as kind of Leverkusen, I think that we that should be it. YouTube is strange with the set. Yeah, it is. I mean, I came on YouTube the other day and I was having a whole conversation and my audio wasn't on. I don't know if that was OBS or YouTube or what it was. Yeah, I'm getting it's growing pains, but I'm glad that 4 people are watching and 27 people have popped in at some point. So I appreciate it. But yeah, big up Vigilante, big up Jonathan. But yeah, Jonathan, I'm back on the thing. Yeah, Leverkusen should be an opportunity for us to kind of open up and you know what? You know what I want to see as well? I want to see Martinelli and Trossard do well because I want them in the shop window. I want Martinelli and Trossard to be, other teams to be looking at them and say, "Oh, this guy's very good." So maybe we can get 20 or 30 million for them because I honestly think both of them need to go, and I have explained that. I have explained that I think our entire left side needs to be addressed. And when the transfer window opens, regardless of what happens in the season, the first thing I want to see is left wingers and left backs. That's the first thing I want to see. Don't bring in any right wingers. Don't bring in any strikers. I want to see left wingers and left backs. When it comes to us purchasing, I don't care about goalkeepers. I do want to see some midfield help as well. But left wing has to be priority number one. If I see another goalkeeper, if I see another defender, I'm gonna lose it because we have enough defenders. Obviously, like I need some attackers. We need some good attackers. It's time. It's time, Mikhail. It's time. So yeah, that's Leverkusen, and then we have Everton, and I'm working on going to the Everton match. I don't really go to many because my experience with going to matches the last couple of times hasn't been great. Man United, PSG. I forgot who I even went to before that. Everton. It was actually Everton. The 0-0. I went to that one. So my last three has been 0-0 Everton, PSG lost 1-0, and 3-2 at Man United. So yeah, my last three at Emirates haven't been that great. So when it comes to spending my hard-earned money to go watch the Arsenal, I try to be choosy now because I'm thinking like surely we'll be up for this match. And yeah, man, it hasn't worked out for me, but I'm hoping that this Everton match will be good. So I'll see if I'll be able to go because I really want to go see Arsenal. I like going to see Arsenal. I like the experience of going to the Emirates. I like the experience of the game day. The match day experience. Everyone's kind of together, whether you're Arteta in or Arteta out, you're kind of together on the day. You're cheering for the Arsenal, and then when you come out the stadium, that's when you go back to being, whatever side you're with. So it's great. It's a great experience. How do you get tickets? Bro, getting tickets for Arsenal is so tough. I'm lucky because I have a mate who has a season ticket, and sometimes when he doesn't go, he allows me to go. So that's why I usually have to check with him because, it's kind of like his family season ticket. But the ballot, you got a better chance of winning the lottery these days than getting a ballot ticket. There's a lady on TikTok. Her name is Maria Loves Football. And I think sometimes she puts like her ballot experience on TikTok. And like for people who, and this is a crazy thing, right? And I'm going to go into another tangent because I don't think that people realize sometimes, right? So moving from the US to the UK, I feel like it's almost become easier to try to get tickets through your local supporters club than it is to get tickets as a person who lives in England. Like, it's crazy that it sounds like that. But like, when I first started watching Arsenal, you could get tickets, bro. You could get tickets. And I don't know if that's maybe because, like I said, we were the banter club at the time. It was just harder. But I feel like the balloting system was a lot easier. Even England. I feel like getting a ticket for England was a little bit easier. But like now, bro, like now getting a ticket for Arsenal, yeah, you got a better chance of getting it through the supporters club. Because, the Arsenal America, some of the supporters pubs get an allocation every now and then. But, I've been in this country in England for 8 years. 8 years will be, and it'll be 8 years in August. I've been here 8 years. I've been to 10 matches. I counted them. I've been to 10 matches in 8 years. And that's only, like I said, it's only because I know someone. If I didn't, it'd probably be less than that. It'd probably have been 5 or less. So, and yeah, right, Vigilante. He said the ballots are impossible. I've entered every season. Not one have had to buy them through ticket exchange. Yeah, it's so hard. It's so hard. And let's not even get started. Bro, I've been on a season ticket waiting list since 2016. I'm still actually, I'll check it. I'm going to tell you right now. Also, new Arsenal app. Not a fan, bro. Not a fan of it. It is not great. he used to tell me what um what number of what number I was on the oh, let's see if it tells me this one. Nah, he used to tell me. But I think the last time I looked, actually I've been a member since July 2017. Because I got the membership probably a year after. When I lived in Spain, it was like, get the membership. And I was like, all right, it got it. So I got a year after I started watching. And I was just like, I'm going to buy it because I'm going to go, go to the stadium and stuff. But yeah, I the last time I checked it, it I was 28,300 or some madness like that. It used to tell me, man. I'm so sad that it doesn't tell you anymore. Yeah, I've been on that season ticket waiting list for almost 10 years, and I'm no closer to getting a season ticket. Jonathan asks, do you live in England? I don't know if he's asking me a vigilante, but yeah, I live in England now. I moved from South Florida to England for university, and I decided that I'd stay, to work, and it was a great time. It's been a great time since I've been here. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Vigilante lives in the UK as well. So yeah, living. Let's not even get started, and I'm sure Vigilante can also co-sign this as well. Bro, a lot of people don't know that you can't watch matches at 3 o'clock in England. I think on Saturday. Like, if a match is at 3 o'clock UK time, you're not watching that in England. Also, if you live in the UK, it's not like America. So America, right? From our American guy, right? American or Caribbean, you guys can get Peacock and you can watch every Arsenal match there is, right? Or at least the Prem matches. Or you can get a sports package and you can have, it used to be, it was on Peacock, and I think Fox was showing like some of it, and what was it? CBS was showing Champions League. Bro, in England, nah, you don't have that option, bro. If it's not showing on Sky or ITV, you gotta find another way. Like, there's no package that I can buy where I watch every Arsenal match. It's not a thing. And 3 o'clock, since they do the blackout, if we're playing at 3, which, bro, I think it was like last year, like November or December, but they're playing at 3 o'clock like every other game. I'm like, bro, I can't watch Arsenal. I live an hour and a half from Arsenal Stadium, and I can't watch them on TV at 3 o'clock on a Saturday. I can't watch them on TV, like, in America, right? As much as people talk crap about American sports, if the Dolphins are playing, it's on basic TV. Every Dolphins game is on basic TV. Every Heat game used to be on basic TV as well. Every Hurricanes game, you don't have to have cable to watch your local sports team. In the UK, bro, I could live right next to Portsmouth and can't watch them on TV. That's crazy to me. And it's something that I had to deal with, because in my naive American brain, before I moved here, I was like, bro, it's Arsenal. I watch them every day. Even in Spain, bro, in Spain, I had a package. I could watch Arsenal every game, bro. I'm like, I'm in England. I should be able to watch them. Maybe I get a Arsenal package. I watch them all the time. No, man, that's not a thing. It's not a thing here, which is sad to me, because it's a British sport. You would think that, like, the UK would cater to the local, turn on your local TV and you see your local team if you can't go. Portsmouth, it's not like they have the biggest stadium. Arsenal Stadium, what, 68,000? Yeah, what did it say? It was 68, 70? 68,000, I think it is. And yeah, imagine if you're not one of the 68,000. and you live in England. How you gonna watch them? It might be on TV, but it might not, and that's crazy. But that's something else I have to learn moving from the U.S. to the U.K. That you don't have access to your local sports team, and it's not just football. Rugby, cricket. Like if they have, you can't just watch your local team on the TV, which is a foreign concept to me. Because they were, I mean, in America, they play high school games sometime on the local TV. They play the college games on the local TV. You could watch them. So, yeah, it was weird to me. 8 o'clock, I would be pissed. Yeah. The one thing that I do like, though, living in the UK, that I do like is if your team is playing and you can't get to the match and it's on TV, going to the pub is a great experience. When I went to uni, I went to uni in Southampton. And Southampton would sometimes when Arsenal play, when they were playing like the bigger games like the Champions League or the Europa League, we'd be on TV and you go down. There was a pub near the city center called Scholars Arms. You go in there, bro, you would think that it was an Arsenal supporters pub. Like you would think it was right outside, of Islington. You would think it, right near the Emirates. That thing was so packed of Arsenal fans. And then I realized it's because a lot of the Londoners moved to places like Southampton and Portsmouth, Brighton, Bournemouth. Because it's warmer, it's near the coast. But also because London is full and it's expensive. And it's a little bit cheaper to live down here. But yeah, going to the pub. And I remember I dressed just like this. Have my Arsenal. Obviously, you have your jumpers and your hoodies on. And you go and you can hear the cheers from outside the pub. You can hear the boos from outside the pub. And it's one thing, too, that I like about the American ones as well. Like, my local pub in America is South Florida Gunners. It's Legends in Deerfield Beach. And I've been there a couple times. And it's the same thing. They're singing songs. They're having a good time. Like, it would be like you're at the stadium. And I think that's a beautiful thing. I think it's a beautiful thing about football. But being here in the UK, if you're not able to actually go, you usually can find a pub if they're playing it. I have watched Arsenal near the pubs, the pubs near the stadium as well. So, yeah, it's great. It's a good time. So, Jonathan, how early do you usually have to wake up to watch Arsenal? Since you're in the Caribbean, I know that when I was back in Florida, I think the 12 o'clock kickoff was 7 a.m. And then I was lucky because I usually got off of work at like 2-ish sometimes, so you could catch like the Champions League matches if they starting at 8. You could usually catch them, be home in time for Champions League. But I think that's another thing that, as I always say, that UK fans and European-based fans, should relish is the fact that you get to watch the matches when your workday is over. You get to watch the matches when it's more convenient for you. Whereas, the US, like this last FA Cup match, right? I was complaining, and that's my fault. I was complaining because I was like, bro, it's 12:15. I gotta wake up, because I gotta set up and do stuff. And, bro, I thinking about my guys from South Florida. 7 a.m. is when it starts, and then guys like BBK who are in, Washington, the West Coast, them boys waking up at 4 a.m. to watch Arsenal. 4 a.m. And that's why it annoys me when people say like, "Oh, because you're not near the stadium, you're." What do you say? Rich said they don't show the games at 3. Then how do the pub show the game? They don't. So at 3, they don't show the game anywhere. The pub show the game if they're on, like if it's maybe a 12 o'clock kickoff or 1 o'clock. The Champions League, they'll play those. But at 3, the 3 p.m. thing is an old rule from like the UK. broadcasting thing. And what it was it was kind of like they wanted people to go watch their local teams. So because a lot of the local teams play, a lot of the smaller teams, the non-league teams, they play on Saturday. So they play, Saturday 2-3 p.m. So what they did was they started blacking out the bigger games at 3 p.m. so that it hopefully encouraged people to go to their local matches to watch. The thing is, we're now in the internet age, bro. Like, it doesn't matter. If I want to watch Arsenal, I ain't going to the local club anyway, because I'm an Arsenal fan. Like, I've been to my local club. I've been to Portsmouth match. I've been to Portchester. I've seen Fareham Town. I've seen Waterloo. Shoaling. I've seen those teams around, but I think I've gone to Portsmouth match, definitely, and Southampton as well. But yeah, 3:00. They're not showing it anywhere. You know what, Rick Jar, if you look at Welcome to Wrexham, right? If you watch Welcome to Wrexham, there is an episode where they actually talk about that. They talk about, because I think Rob McElhenney, he was showing the game at the 3 p.m. game at the pub, and that's illegal. You can't stream it at all. You can't show it. The owners do get their own private streams, but you can't actually watch it out in town anywhere else, right? You can listen to it. They do allow you to listen to it, but you can't watch it. It's a weird thing. So yeah, anytime Arsenal play at 3 p.m., no one in the UK can watch them unless you got a VPN and are very crafty. Big up Godfrey in the house. Big up Gooner Rican. Hope you're good. Yep. Hope you're good too, Godfrey. Just waffling about UK and US things, but yeah. Rich, I said I was up 7 a.m. to watch that game, and that's another thing, right? It's another thing it's kind of sad that US pubs don't get, because obviously I follow my local pubs, but the local supporters clubs, a lot of the pubs weren't open for that match. So a lot of guys who love going to the pub to watch it weren't able to go, because the pub ain't gonna open at 7 a.m. for, a group of what? 10 guys? 15? Like, and I get it, but it would suck, man. I wish that there were more pubs and things that were a little bit more accommodating for supporters clubs, because that's how it grows. When I lived in North Carolina, my first ever Arsenal supporters pub, don't make me lie, I think it was either Raleigh or Durham. I went there and it was stupid early. I want to say it was like 10, 11 a.m. When Arsenal were playing, and yeah, there were probably 5 people on a Saturday in the pub, but they were there and they were happy to be there, and I think that's a great thing. I think that's the great thing about doing it. But one day when I actually go back to the States, I do want to open up a real Arsenal pub that serves the best beer. Foster's. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I'd like to open up like a real Arsenal themed pub. And it doesn't matter when Arsenal play. They could play at 4:15 a.m. The pub will be open for it. That's what I want. That's what I want to do. But I do know there are liquor laws and stuff that don't allow that. So maybe instead of having a pub, you have like a side room or something that's not connected to the pub, and then you just have refreshments. But yeah, that's my dream. What else we got? What else would I want to talk about? Because we hit the hour mark. But this was, like I said, this was just a community show. We've helped a guy pick his natural team. We've talked about, the timings. We talked about the FA Cup. We talked about the Champions League. And we talked about YouTube, and that's another thing I want to talk about. This YouTube thing, right? First off, I want to big up everybody who's in here. There seems to be 6 of you, which I appreciate. We've hit 400 subscribers, which 416, I think it is. You can tell I don't check anything, bro. I just get on here and waffle. 416. We hit 416 subscribers, which is about 400 more than I thought we'd have. And I always say that I didn't expect anybody to come over here. I didn't expect anybody to, like, subscribe, share, any of that, because I just like talking about my team. Like, I used to do it on Facebook. I used to do it on Instagram for my family, and now I do it for just the community, man. And I would like to build a community of people that just want to talk about football, man. And even though it's an Arsenal channel, and I say this a lot because a lot of Arsenal fans are in here, I want it to be an open channel, man. I want rivals to come in here as well. I don't mind, because I like talking sport. I think sport is one of the last things that we have that bring people together. Sport and music. The last things that just transcend all of the crap that's going on in the world. When you think about the World Cup, you've got nations who would normally never be in close proximity to each other, playing each other, spending time around each other, getting to know each. Like it's like the Olympics, man. It's a beautiful thing. So yeah, sports and music, man, are like the things that bring people together, and that's how I want my community to be. I want us to be able to sit here and talk about football and basketball, baseball, whatever. Be a place to just get away for an hour to talk about something besides, because the world is trash, bro. It's trash. The world is crazy. It's not great. And if an hour to just watch a YouTube and have a conversation about football helps people, man, that's what I want to do. So that's why I come on here. I like talking sports. I like talking life. Yeah, and that's right. Comedy clubs as well. Thank you, Godfrey, for the congratulations. But yeah, but comedy, people, the thing with comedy, man, people take things a certain way when it comes to comedy. And I love comedy. Like I like Nate Jackson. I like, the guys we grew up on, Eddie Murphy, Chris Rock, Bernie Mac, those guys. But I feel like with comedy, people allow themselves to be offended instead of seeing the comedic bit of it. And Dave Chappelle talks about it all the time. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, making people laugh. I love it, man. I like to see people laugh. I like to see people having a good time. Because the world's got enough stress. The world's got enough, just crap going on. And sometimes you just need to get away. But if there are any more questions for my 5 viewers in there, anything you want to know, now's the time to ask. I'll be here waffling for maybe the next 5-10 minutes. And then I'll go because I'm free. My wife is gone for the week. So I'm going to go and hopefully figure out how to do this YouTube thing. Because Vigilante has come in and helped me. And then I've been asked about having moderators, which I haven't even thought of because, I didn't think my channel was that big. But it's something that I have to do. But I will work to, and let's talk about YouTube, man. This is candid. It's my space. I don't care. Yeah, this YouTube thing, man, like, it's gonna work. Obviously I've just put like this stuff up. Working with thumbnails, working with OBS, trying to figure it out. OBS, bro, it looks like a sound studio in this joint, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I thought, me being the novice that I am, I thought you just hop on here with a camera and that was it. I didn't know about chats, making sure that this is going and that's going, having a microphone. Like, I bought a microphone, I bought a webcam. I was using my phone to start off with. So my first couple videos, which are clear because, I have an iPhone. But, yeah, man. And the first time, the first time I did a live stream with someone, I was big up Fraley. Rick Jordan, Nate Jackson. Bro, I love Nate Jackson. And you know why I love Nate Jackson? Because Nate Jackson reminded me of them dudes in the back. Like, growing up in South Florida, the dude in the back of the class is just roasting everybody. Like, I grew up with them dudes, and that's what it just reminds me. It reminds me of the back of the classroom. But yeah, the whole YouTube thing yeah, man, it's growing. It's growing. Where I've come from, in a corner to having a space where we can chat, where we can talk, is big for me, man. And 400 people is massive. Um, Benny Blanco said, "What's your take on Arsenal this season? You confident?" My take on Arsenal this season. Whew, that's a loaded question. Um, I would say the good, bad, and the ugly. So let's do the good, bad, and the ugly. So the good thing is we're finding ways to win when we're not great. Last couple matches, that's proof that we're finding ways. Because last season, I don't think we win those matches. I don't think that we have the end result that it takes. I think we let in a goal. And yeah, Wolves happen. Yeah, Liverpool happens. But those happen in a season. I'm still gutted because I think we could have won those matches. But at this point in the season, crying over split milk isn't a thing. The bad thing is our attack is not working. We scored 100 goals, yes. But our attack is lacking something. It's lacking something that spark. I don't know what it is. Is it a player? Is it Martin Odegaard? Is it somebody? I mean, we're not going to get Ethan Wanyeri back. Is it the system? We're scoring goals, but they're not fluid goals. We're getting own goals, deflections, and stuff. And this part of the season, Benny Blanco, I've said it. If you're new here, I've said it before. It does not matter how we win as long as we do. Doesn't matter if it's the ugliest match in history. The 3 points and progression is all that I care about. The ugly bit is the time wasting. I hate it, bro. I hate it. And I know that we're not the only ones who time waste, but it's a problem league-wide, and I hate that we do it. I feel like we're better than that. Like, we're going for the title. I feel like we should do it in a way that's not that. Not time wasting in the first half, right? But every team does it. It's like American football, with the flopping for penalties. Same thing with basketball. Every team has floppers. Somebody touch you, you fall down. But that doesn't mean you should do it. It doesn't, at some point your coach got to be like, bro, stop doing it. But I feel like our coach is telling us, take as much time as you need. It's within the rules. And I get it. So, yeah, LeBron. Yeah, Fred LeBron. All the flop, I get it. That right there is cheating. But there's no stipulations in the rules that say you have to take a corner kick too fast. There's no stipulations in rules that says that you have to take a throw in fast. There's nothing in there. So, is it scummy? Little bit. But you get to a point where you ain't breaking any rules technically. So that's how I feel about that. But as far as the overall season and the second question you asked, because I feel like those are two different questions. Am I confident? I want to be, Benny Blanco. I want to be confident. I want to be able to say, you know what? I think I got it. And you know what? One thing that I have been saying, and I've been consistent on this, is I honestly think that we will win the league. There's no rhyme. There's no reason. There's no evidence that I can point to that supports that. Why am I thinking that? Right? Because we've seen some of the same cracks. We've seen us fall apart in this point of the season. Why do I feel that way? I just feel it. And like I told Jonathan earlier, sometimes I go based on feelings. I'm the Don of dopamine. I let things take me away. Right? But this year, I felt like this was the year. And with that winning ugly, with us somehow getting points when points don't seem like they're coming, or when it doesn't seem like we deserve it, I 100% am confident that we win the league. I am. I think I'm confident we win the league. I would just say that in this space, and I'm pretty sure somebody might clip this up. Doesn't matter. I think we will win the league. I think we can win the Carabao Cup, and I'm confident we can take them 90 minutes. Man City, we can take them 90 minutes if we're on our day. But I'm more confident that we can win the league just because of our last matches, how they've gone and how we've gotten points. And City, as I said at the beginning of this joint, City aren't that great blue shark, man. We've seen them fall apart. They can be got at. But if we win our next games and we draw at the Etihad and we just keep winning, we won the title. Doesn't matter what they do. We win the title. So, yeah, I'm confident in that regard. Champions League, I'm confident we'll make it to the semis. Because if we don't, I'm losing it. I'm losing it. The semi should be minimum. With who is over there and the quality that we have, semi. So, yeah, I'm confident in getting to certain milestones. But the only competition I'm confident that we win is the league this year. I just feel it. I feel like this is the year. And I need it to be. Freddie said, imagine MJ flopping. Bro, you know what? You look at basketball. It seems like this is turning more into a Waffle House. But you look at some of the sports, right? MJ, imagine MJ just flopping around on the ground. Bro, when MJ was playing basketball, you had guys like the Bad Boy Pistons. You had, the Lakers. You had the New York Knicks with Patrick Ewing. You had the San Antonio Spurs. Like, you had some dudes who would just punch you in the face, elbow you upside your head. And you don't see him flopping. Dudes was literally running out there with cuts under their eye, throwing up on the sideline, and they still went out there. And you've got this big 6'8", 250-pound man who, like he got shot out of a cannon. Nah, bro, nah. And I talked about this on the Waffle House. Sport has just become safe, but it's lost a little bit of that grittiness, man. Especially football. I hate the flopping. I hate the time wasting. And it's a thing that you see. Like you see in international football. Like, nah, bro, leave it. Leave it out. Freddie says, I feel like our legs are too gone. I feel like Zubamendi and Rice in particular, they are gas, bro. You can see it. Now, this is where I think Mikel Arteta has to earn some of his wages. We have an international break coming up. I forget. Does it come up at the end of the month? I think it's at the end of the month. We have an international break coming up. England have already qualified. Spain have already qualified. There is no reason that Declan Rice and Martin Zubamendi should be going anywhere near the national team. You in the World Cup squad. Rice, we know you playing. Zubamendi, we know you playing. You're in the Spanish squad. Now those other guys, Timber, you're in the Dutch squad. We know that you're there. Guess what? They're sick. What are they sick with? Ibiza disease. Because that's where they're going to be at. Send them to Ibiza. I don't want to see you anywhere near the national team. Y'all qualified. The only thing you can do now on international break is get hurt. So, yeah, I don't want to see them dudes anywhere near the national team. I think that Rice and Zubamendi will play. I think they'll play the Champions League. I think they play that match against Everton. I think they play the Carabao Cup final. Yeah, exactly, Fred. Pickpocket the passports. You can't go nowhere unless you going to Birmingham, Bournemouth, or Brighton. That's it, bro. I don't want to see them anywhere near it. But that's how... And, Pep used to do that. A lot of managers used to do that. Oh, these guys are sick. No, they're not. They on holiday. Cough, cough, Monaco. Like, come on, man. Faye said, Nogard needs to play. Absolutely. Nogard is solid. He's a better El Nene, bro. Put him out there and let him get some running going. What I don't understand is why we don't play Norgard against teams like your Brentfords, like your Bournemouths, like your lower level teams, because that's his, as respectfully as possible, that's his level. But he's also press resistant. Like, he's also someone who knows what it's like playing near the bottom. So he knows how to kind of circumvent those low blocks. Just let him do it. Benny Blanco said Eze is going to be massive in the remaining games. He can score more goals. I think he is. But like I said in the match review, Eze has a tendency to go missing. He has a tendency to score a goal and do nothing else, which is great if that goal is the winner. But if we're searching for a goal, then we need you to be on it. We need you to take the ball and take the game by the scruff of the neck. And sometimes, as we saw, Eze doesn't do that. But I agree with you. I think he will have moments. And it could be bro, if Eze scores or assists in the Carabao Cup final, we win, then we forget all about him having ghost games. Same thing with Odegaard. If Odegaard were to come back, score, we win, we forget all about Ghost Guard. Don't even remember that. I never called him that a day in my life. But now, more than ever, we can't have any passengers. We can't have any players who are just holding on and hoping for the best and walking around and jogging. We can't have that. We're going for the title. The next 3 months, and when I say 3 months, I mean March, April, and May. That's going to determine everything. Whether we're just the bottle jobs again or whether we finally done it. And I need players to put in performances. There's no more he doesn't know the... Same thing with Gyökeres. Same thing with Madueke. There's no more he got to learn the system. We at the business end now, gents. This is the business end. I need to see performances. Fraley, it's called protecting the players. Yes. Rick Jar, international break is my biggest fear looking for. Yes. Because I was talking to my mate, Mark the driver, and I love England. I hope one day that England win the World Cup because I would love to experience it living in the UK. But at this moment in time, I do not care anything about the English national team. Could not care. I don't care what they doing. I don't watch the international. I don't care. Big up views. I don't care what England have going on. I only care about Arsenal. This is my nation. This is my nation right here. Right? This is my country, Arsenal. Right? So, like Freddie said, the player will want to play for the club. I mean, for the country, but it's up to the club to say it'll mess them up and we need them more. It is. It's up to the club. And the big manager's good at. Pep is good at doing, he's got a knock. He's got a nigga. Ain't nothing wrong with him. He's in Ibiza. That's where he's at. I need Mikel Arteta to do the same thing. Fred said neither. I'm Welsh. Welsh also has Arsenal. I mean, Australia make it, but yeah, it's tough. It's long. I'm Puerto Rican, bro. I haven't seen them make the World Cup, so I thought we was gonna make it this time because we got one guy who's he plays for Real Madrid Castilla, and then we have another guy, Leandro Antonetti, who was actually born in Spain, but he plays for Puerto Rico, and now he plays in Portugal. But yeah, I thought them dudes was gonna be, I thought they were gonna make the first team. Maybe Puerto Rico was gonna sneak. I mean, Curacao made the World Cup, man. I'm like, surely Puerto Rico can, but we didn't. So yeah, I stuck with England because England's where I came to, and I don't know which has been more painful, England or Arsenal, the last 10 years. But yeah, all I care about is Arsenal, man. All I care about is Arsenal. and our players being fit. Um, we need to make sure that our players come back from the international break and we can play them. Because the worst thing would be letting Saka go. And you know, this is the thing. Like Thomas Tuchel, what was his name? Chubby Street. Um, Thomas Tuchel, he should know who he's gonna play for the World Cup. Like I feel like at this point, um, Thomas Tuchel should know the majority of who he's taking. Like, I mean, there's people that could probably make the squad, but he knows if he's gonna take Saka or not. He knows if he's gonna take. He knows he's taking Rice, right? So you don't need to see them anymore. Like Rice and Saka are going now. Madueke, yeah, you might get in there. Fringe guys. If you're looking at Brazil, Martinelli, maybe. Jesus probably not gonna make the squad. Like those guys, fine. But when I'm thinking about Zubamendi, Rice, Timber, Saka, oh god, it is DeLeon, yes. Oh god, what was it? Now you make me look it up. Now you're making me look it up, Freddie. It is. He played for Real Madrid and he broke his arm. Let me Google him. Jeremy DeLeon, that's right. The redhead kid. Yeah, I thought because he had made the Castilla team and then they had taken him in the squad and I think he had a shoulder injury. So yeah, I thought these dudes were gonna lead Puerto Rico and we had a good squad. We just ran into a buzzsaw, man. It happens. It happens to the best of us. Which I said, Jamaica has qualifiers in international break. We have New Caledonia. If we win that, then we play Congo. Yeah, New Caledonia, bro. I agree with Fraley. New Caledonia, you should beat them. The issue with Jamaica sometimes is they have quality, but sometimes when you look at that quality, they just don't mesh. Like, they just don't mesh. Like, when you look at some of the guys who were playing for Jamaica, you're like, bro, Jamaica should be wiping the floor with some of these dudes, and then you just kind of like, and I'm hoping Jamaica make it. I want Jamaica to make it. I love when Caribbean, I've never been to Curacao, but I'm hoping that I always hope the Caribbean nations do well in the World Cup, man, because they're small. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see Haiti do well. I want to see Jamaica do well. I want to see Dominican Republic. Puerto Rico. I want to see even Curacao, bro. I'll take it. Even if they don't make it past the knockouts, take a point off of somebody. Like, put on for the Caribbean, bro. That's all I want to see. Rick just said, please don't say Curacao, because I still have PTSD them sending Jamaica to the qualifier. And that's what I mean about Jamaica. Jamaica have some great players, but every now and then you just go like, bro, how did y'all lose to these dudes? I just think they just don't. It's something where they don't mesh, bro. And the same can be said about England. Sometimes you be like, bro, how did you manage this? Like, bro, you got some of the best players in the world. Y'all look disheveled. But yeah, as far as, and I'm going to do a World Cup show. It's funny that you guys talk about the World Cup. So the next ammo check, not ammo check. I keep saying this is the ammo check. The next Waffle House is actually going to be my World Cup show. Because I want to talk about it. I want to talk about all things World Cup. I want to talk about kind of what I think is going to happen. And not just the football. I want to talk about everything that's going on with the World Cup. Like, as far as people saying it should move, the matches that are happening, and all that stuff. That's what I want to talk about. Because I love the World Cup. I love the World Cup. It's how I actually got into football, watching the World Cup. I remember the first World Cup I watched was 2010, it was amazing, bro. It was an amazing show. South Africa, Shabalala, and those dudes, like, watching Forlan, watching David Villa in Spain, you know, Brazil, France, like and the Vuvuzelas, people didn't like them because they were just like, but I was like, I loved it. I was there for it. Four line, yeah, four line, for Uruguay. Um, but yeah, that South Africa World Cup was amazing to me. And I know a lot of people talk about, you know, '98 and all that, but I think I was a little bit too young to actually enjoy it. 2010 was kind of the first one because I was about 17 at the time, so I could actually understand and enjoy sport and actually watch it through its entirety. Fairly said, they have very poor funding. Assuming you're talking about Jamaica, was the same at Wales for a while. We dropped to 117th in the world. The players didn't enjoy coming to camp until we started investing. And you know what I think also helped Wales? Gareth Bale. I think Gareth Bale helped Wales a lot. Maybe not financially, but from kind of, I think every now and then as a national team, especially a national team that isn't that great, you need a player that is great in the squad. Like you need a player, a couple players, and I know that, you know, Views and Shane talk about Ireland, you know, and some of the guys that they had. Like you need those good players. You need those good players that people can look toward and say, you know, if this guy can make it, if this guy can make it through the squad, then maybe we can as well. It also helps if you're FA, and I think sometimes with the Caribbean nations and Jamaica, the FA don't put as much, like with Jamaica, you have a lot of guys who are coming from the Prem, and they expect a certain type of setup, you know, a certain level of funding, a certain level of training pitch of your home base. And when it's not great, it's like a lot of players get put off by it. And I think that was what was up with Puerto Rico for a long time as well. Like not great facilities. And you know, you go from playing at, you know, London Colney to playing in a car park in Jamaica, or playing, you know, at a mud field in Puerto Rico. Like people are just gonna be like, bro, how are you trying to make a national team and you won't even pay for a nice training pitch for us to train on, you know? And that's what kind of put people off. So I get it. Yeah, they did a risky system of giving our youth players 20 caps for 19 years, and it paid off. Bale, Allen, Ramsey, Williams, and Hennessy. I love Aaron Ramsey. When he wasn't broken, he was great. Bale as well. Now we have more players wanting to play for us, whereas before they just went to England. The car park is probably softer than Shoba. Yo, so that's something that I always talk about as well when it comes to the Soba, or, you know, London Colney, whatever it is. Bro, that pitch has to be hard as dirt, bro, because we always getting knee injuries and leg injuries. Like, bro, what are they playing on? Concrete? Like, how do you have a state-of-the-art facility and or you're playing on a carpet, but you training on NBA basketball floor? Like, it don't make sense to me, bro. It's goofy. Like, surely somebody should be like, bro, we keep getting these leg injuries. We keep getting these contact injuries. Let's just rip all this stuff up and try to get, like, nope. No, let us keep getting injured. But yeah, when it comes to playing, like, I think Declan Rice could play for, is it Ireland? Or he played for Ireland, like, as a youth, and then he played for England. And I think that's the thing as well. Like, you have a lot of English talent who have Irish roots or Scottish roots or Welsh roots, Jamaican roots, you know, Nigerian roots. And instead of playing for those countries, they play for England because they're from England. But you do have, you know, guys like, you know, Iwobi, Michael Antonio, guys like that who are from England but play for their national team, and I think that's a good thing as well because that's how if you get enough Prem players playing for the national team, then you bring more kind of awareness to it, and then you can get those guys from Jamaica, those guys from Nigeria, Curacao, all that stuff. Richard said Port Vale is on the verge of victory. Hopefully, we get them in the next round. Yes, I would love Port Vale. I would love Port Vale. Yes, please. I don't want to see any Prem teams in the next round of the FA Cup. Like I said in the group chat, I want the easy route, bro. I'm tired. I want the hard route only in the Champions League final. I want us to face somebody who is good in the Champions League final to see our level. But yeah, man. People like, oh, your side of the draw is easy. We didn't pick it. Oh, your FA Cup run has been easy. We didn't pick it. Oh, the Carabao Cup runners, we did not pick it. Arsenal didn't say, hey, make us play Mansfield Town. Make us play Port Vale. They didn't say that. Everybody had the same chance to play them same players, playing them same teams. We just got to look at the draw. Which is why I want to win the Prem. That's why I want to win the Prem. Because for me, right? Let's say we don't win the Prem. And we end up winning the Champions League. The rivals would be like, oh, it was easy. You had the easy side of the draw. Man, you had such an easy route. First off, I wouldn't care because we won the Champions League. Suck eggs. But it would be annoying. The Prem, bro, I don't care what they say. Oh, it was an easy Prem. The Prem was, you got dudes talking about having an asterisk. No one had an asterisk when Liverpool won it and teams were falling off. But when Arsenal do it, oh, we want an asterisk. No, bro, you just hate Arsenal. Say you hate Arsenal. It's fine. We're used to being hated. But no, bro, we played those same, and this is the thing. We played those same other 19 teams City played. We played opponents home and away, just like City played. Just like Liverpool played. Just like Aston Villa played. If we win, we did better against them opponents, home and away, than they did. There was no luck of the draw. We played them dudes home and away. We were just a better team. Every Arsenal fan in this chat, don't let nobody tell you if we win the league that it was a soft league. Tell them to kick rocks. I'm not hearing that. Now, if they say about the Champions League, I'll be like, luck of the draw, bro. We didn't pick it. But the Premier League, nah. We played the same teams that Man City played. We played the same teams that Liverpool played. But guess what? We beat more of them teams than they did. I'm not hearing it, bro. I don't have time for it. I'm not here. If we win the league, I'm not hearing any Arsenal slander. Tell them all, suck eggs, kick rocks. It was England old training ground, and they made St. George. That tells you it's crap. Yeah, I heard about that. England didn't want to train there anymore. So they said it was dangerous. Well, apparently not to Arsenal, because, we still allow hamstrings to get taken out. They used it once and said never again. I agree. So, because we keep getting injuries from it as well. So, yeah, man, it is what it is, man. I hope that if we win the league, that we kick on. I hope we kick on. And not just from a football sense. But I think that, and this is the last bit, and I'll close on this as well. Unless you guys have more questions, I'm open for questions. We're just having a chat today. But this is the thing. I've been, and I hate that I'm going to say this. I've been to the Toilet Bowl, and you guys know which one I'm talking about. The Toilet Bowl is nice, guys. I went there for NFL. It is a nice stadium. And I love the Emirates. But you can definitely tell that the Emirates was made when it was made. It was made in 2006 and it's not current. They have redone the outside. The inside could use some paint. The seats are like pinkish now. It needs an update. It needs an update. And I hope that if we win the league or Champions League, we can get an update. Because there can be so much more at the Emirates. There could be, such a different and better experience at the Emirates. And I think that's what the way that our owners are going to try to go anyway, because our owners care about money. They want to make you buy as much stuff as possible. Like, I don't buy food from the Emirates. I think the only thing that I usually get from there is chips or fries for my U.S. people. Yeah, this is the only thing I can pretty much stomach. They have improved the beer quality because they've done that thing with acai. But you can go in the Emirates and tell it's a little bit dated, and I'm hoping that they upgrade it because the toilet bowl is nice, bro. They got their own beer. You see video screens and stuff out there. You see it from afar, and you're like, bro, this is modern. And I think it's time for Arsenal to do that. My biggest issue with upgrading, though, from just my personal sense, is I feel like our owners are going to upgrade to make the more expensive seats more accessible. I don't think it'll be for the common seats. I think they'll try to increase like the club level because those are the more expensive seats. The executive boxes. That's how I feel like they'll expand. I don't think they're looking to expand for the cheap seats. And I call them the cheap seat. They ain't cheap, bro. You paying £100 to go watch Arsenal. So I think the stadium itself needs a little bit of update. Because it is, compared to some of the other ones that I've gone to, it is a little bit outdated, but it's still serviceable. I love the Emirates. I love going there. I think they probably will do something to it. I would just like, more than anything, you ever been United? I haven't yet. But I heard that United's falling apart, and that's the thing, right? That's the thing, and the problem that a lot of people have with the owners. If I was a United fan, right? If I was a United fan, I would definitely feel some type of way, because United are not a small club. They are on par with, as far as worldwide reach, with Real Madrid. As I said earlier in the thing, in the Caribbean, you would see so many United fans. I have been to San Siro. I have visited San Siro, but United are so big, for them to make as much money as they do and to neglect the stadium, like, it's kind of taking the mick a little bit. For that stadium is not only big, it's iconic. And I think that if you're making that much money, you probably should put some back into the stadium. And I'm guessing next season ticket's not cheap either. So you charging that much for a season ticket, you charging that much for merch, and y'all can't make sure the roof don't leak. And that's the problem I have with American owners, because it's all a business. They're not concerned with the on-field product. They're not concerned with, kind of the match day experience. They're concerned with making money. We're customers. We're not fans. We're customers. And that's the thing that I don't like. Yeah, but Jim has just come in. And he's cheaper than he's cheaper than the Glazers, bro. They were telling Glazers out. Jim Ratcliffe cheaper than them. I mean, that man cut the staff and was telling staff they couldn't eat at the stadium, bro. I gotta go to the Tesco Express to get my lunch, bro. Shambolic. It's embarrassing. But I'm pretty sure he just wants to be like the Americans. Like, as much as people talk trash about the Saudis and talk trash about Abramovich, they poured money into their club. They poured money into their club. Abramovich wrote off so much of Chelsea's debt and money he put in. Now, he might have been, laundering a little bit, but he wrote off so much, and he poured his own, funds and stuff. Our owners don't pour anything into the club. We only use what we make. And I'm pretty sure Jim is doing the same. Everything that Manchester United make, I'm pretty sure he's pocketing some. I guarantee his net worth has probably gone up since owning his share of Manchester United. I would not be surprised. But that's the thing. That's the thing that annoyed me about Arsenal when we made Gunnosaurus redundant. Like the guy had been Gunnosaurus for decades, and we just made him redundant during COVID. Bro, as much as we paid for merch, look how much merch I got here. Right? Look how much this one was 125 pounds. This one 125, and this doesn't go to Arsenal, but that's 300 pounds I spent. This one 25 pounds, right? 70 pounds. Let's talk 15 pounds. 15 pounds, right? We talking about 100 pounds just me sitting here, right? And I bought this a couple years ago. I got a closet full of kit. Right? I got about 20 in there. So they not hurting for money. The season ticket was one of the highest in the league. They not hurting for money. So when COVID hit, you expect them to at least take care of their their clients, their workers. No, bro, they sacked them. Cost saving. Stop paying your CEO so much. Not sacking somebody who's working for the club, trying to save money. What you save? 50,000 quid a year? When you've got some CEO who ain't doing nothing, making 200,000? Bro. Freddie said, no trophy this season. I want to refund all the games I paid for. I didn't even pay for it. I bought merch. Listen. Rick Jar, he be in the chat, right? And this is my thing, and I'm a self-admitted merch whore. Okay? I love merch. Because I love Arsenal. Right? So I got the jacket. I mean, this is not all this year, guys. But I have, I got the jacket. I bought these. I've got a hoodie. Y'all seen it on the thing. Like, me, I just feel it is my Arsenal duty as a fan to buy a kit every year. Right? It's my duty. But we've gotten to the point, and the last couple years, I got to the point where I wasn't buying from the Armory. I wasn't. I wasn't buying from the Armory. And you know how much it pains me to walk into the Armory after payday, seeing what's in my account, and knowing that I have money to get the new Arsenal kit, to get, a matching Bible, to get, a scarf, and have to walk out of that joint because I'm upset with how the club's doing. That's tough business, bro. That's tough business. So, yeah, I've gotten back on side. I have. This year, I bought one kit. You'd be proud to know. I bought one kit. I bought the home kit because I got swept up in the Gyökeres. I got swept up in this, right? And then when they signed him, they said free printing. And I said, go ahead, let's go. And I got the Gyökeres in the European print. I'm not gonna lie to you. But then I said no more. And I got this year's third kit in a vintage shop. And it was probably like 30 pounds. And it was around Christmas as well. I was so flabbergasted, I thought it was a fake. But I looked it up, it was real. I don't know why someone gave it away. I'm not sure, what happened. But I looked at it, it was real. And I said, I'll take it. It was in my size and everything. It was like a Christmas miracle. So only technically giving Arsenal one shirt worth of money this year. And I bought a scarf when I went to... I bought a scarf for the United game. I'm pretty sure. And, bro, if I could have thrown that... First off, the scarf was 25 quid, so I wasn't going to get rid of it. But if I could have thrown it in the bin, I would have, bro. Because I was so angry after that United match. I was fuming. But I still have the scarf. Freddie said, I go to games, I'm lucky on the ballot. Yeah, we spoke about that earlier, man. It's so hard to get it on the ballot. Godfrey said, I feel the same. Gooner Rican can't go a season without at least one jersey. I feel bad, man. I feel like I'm neglecting my duties as an Arsenal fan. And I don't buy them because I like the Cronkies. Can't stand them. But I buy them because I want to support my club somehow with my money. And also because I'm not going to lie. Ever since Adidas became a thing, like this one. Yeah, bro. Adidas just had some bangers, right? Like I got that black kit with the gold cannon on it, bro. I wish, cause I was still doing uni, right? I was still doing uni, so I didn't have as much money. But I bought that gold kit. If I had the money that I have now when I was at uni, and I don't make a lot, but if I'd had that, bro, I would have cleared them out of everything that was black and gold. And they almost got me this year. This year my wife bought me the I think she bought me the scarf, and she bought me the cup. The what's it called? It's not a Yeti. It's the other one. The Stanley Cup. The white one, the big one. Bro, she bought me that. I still haven't taken out the box. I look at it, I'm like, bro, this is so nice. And this club know how to get me. So this is my favorite color. I love burgundy, right? And when this club release anything burgundy, white burgundy, cream burgundy, burgundy, bro, I'm there. I'm there. Like, this is my favorite. I never even saw Arsenal playing this kit. But when I saw this kit, I knew that this was my club. I was like, oh, this is it. Godfrey said Gakura has smashed the record for player shirts. Yeah, I'm one of them, unfortunately. Freddie said I still have shirts from when I was a little kid. When it comes to like my shirts from a little kid, I don't, cause I was a little fat kid, and then I got skinny, and then I got fat again. But we moved around a lot, and I lost some things in moves. I have one kit from when I was in high school, and it's not even a Dolphins kit. It's actually a Willis McGahee Baltimore Ravens kit, which I love because he went to my high school. He was one of the people who went to my high school, and I found it on a clearance rack. Fred said, I love the 125-year anniversary home and away. I have that shirt, actually. One day, if you guys come to the Waffle House, what I've been doing is I changed these for the Waffle House. So I put these are usually the one. This one I definitely use for ammo check. When I do Arsenal content, I usually use the same ones. When I do the Waffle House, I like to switch up my jerseys, just to kind of go through them. So that's like a little feature for the Waffle House. I just go through jerseys. Godfrey said I wasn't able to get the black and gold jersey. You know what, Godfrey? I got it at Sports Direct. I wasn't able to as well because it sold out fairly quickly. And by the time I actually got the money to do it, I couldn't find it. And I went into Sports Direct, and I was hoping. And they had one extra large left. Bro, I snatched that thing off the rack so quick. I was hoarding it like this, bro. Like, nah. But it's like the third kit this year. The third kit, bro, I saw it in Sports Direct probably like for a week. And I went back in there for it. It was gone. I was like, ooh. And I just lucked out and got the one that I got now. Because I wanted the long sleeve. Because I'm like, the long sleeve is clean. The only thing that, and I don't know if you've seen it, Godfrey and Freyla. I don't know if you've seen the Spain kit for this year. The Spain kit with the collar, the rumored Spain kit, I'm buying it. And I know I said I like England. I have Spanish ancestry. That's going to be my excuse. But the jacket, the cream and burgundy jacket for Spain and the cream burgundy jersey, I'm buying it. Because I love burgundy, and I used to live in Spain, and Spain is like my second country. But, boy, the collar that is on that one, it's like it's like a kind of a V-neck collar, but it's like the weird one where they go like that. That joint, that would have been great. I feel like the collar on the third kit is kind of weird. I feel like if they had actually made it close, I feel like it would have looked better, but having it open, I feel like that's the one thing that Adidas got wrong. But, yeah, our third kit, that white joint, yeah, they take all my money, bro. when it comes to white and burgundy, I'm weak. Gotta say that's also my favorite retro kit. It's too clean. It's beautiful, bro. And I got this one. I got this one when I was in a little bit better shape. But yeah, bro, just the detail. Oh, yeah. If I can find one with an Henri on the back, that's not like an arm and a leg, I'm buying it, framing it, and that's gonna be it, bro. God forbid, Adidas release bangers for us. They do. They do. Big up, Dark Side Gunner. Give it a look. Australia way too. I have to look at the Australia one. Richard, look at Jamaican new collection. Adidas collaboration with Bob Marley Foundation is fire. Yeah, bro. Yeah, the Bob Marley kit, the black one. I'm a sucker for black kits as well. I think I have quite a few black kits in there, and yeah, a good black kit. Like that's why I have the US black kit. And the only reason I got the US black kit is because it's got the red and blue shoulders, and I was like, I like freaky kits. Like I like kits that aren't like that are out there. Like that highlighter yellow kit that we had with the black joint from up. Yeah, I got the shoes to go with it. I love a crazy kit. I've got some interesting ones in there, man. One of these days I'll do a show and I'll do the crazy kit, like the off colors. Like being from South Florida, we like vibrant colors. Like, you know, the Art Deco, you've got the pink, the pink, purple, the teal, like the orange. Like we like flashy stuff. We like to be flat. We're flashy people. So when it comes to bright jerseys and like like I got the pink joint, I got the light one. I'm looking at them now because they're right across from me. The Monsters Inc. joint, I got that one as well. Yeah, I love the one I like as well. Was the white kit we had a couple years ago with the marbling on it. Love that. And the black numbers. Yeah. You got the Arsenal Jamaica one. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I've also got, right, and it took me a while to find it. I have the Arsenal London tube kit as well. The blue one that looks like the tube chairs. Got that joint as well. I like that one. I like that one as well. I like a quirky kit, bro. I got that one. I also have, and I usually luck into jerseys. I luck into jerseys sometimes. I'm very lucky when it comes to jersey, much to my wife's chagrin, because I spend quite an absorbent amount on some of the jerseys that I have. But I have that Ian Wright one, the Ian Wright joint. I have that one as well. But yeah, the red marble. The kit reminds me of Aubameyang. It was a class. I miss Aubameyang, man. Imagine we had prime Aubameyang. Well, maybe not in this team, but yeah, with Wenger, this team, and a prime Aubameyang, and Alexis Sanchez. Bro, imagine Alexis Sanchez, Aubameyang, Bukayo Saka, right? Ezra behind them, Rice Zubimendi, and the defense we got, we will walk the league, bro. Just smack teams for fun. But hey, we still might walk the league. Have a Victor Valdez Barca kit from 2010. What's my oldest kit? I mean, obviously these, but the oldest kit I own, my first kit, right? The first kit I remember getting was a Sevilla kit. It was Sevilla kit, and I got Koke on the back. It was the red one when they were with Warrior during their Europa League run, and I got Koke on the back because he was number 23, Jordan and all that. But I got that. As far as my internationals, my international kits. Well, when I say international, I don't mean national team. I mean like other teams beside Arsenal. I've got Neymar, Messi. I got Zlatan Ibrahimovic when he played for PSG. Just because the guy used to refer to himself in the third person, bro. Zlatan doesn't do trials. I'm like, oh, who is this Zlatan guy? And then I watched him for PSG. I was like, and then he went to United, and I was like, boy. But yeah, I got that. I have Francesco Totti jersey as well. AC Milan. I have Inter Milan. I got a Brazil jersey. Um, but my favorite. I mean, I've got Chris. My favorite one, right? And I shouldn't like this because I do support Sevilla. My favorite non-Arsenal jersey that I have. Real Madrid had a black jersey with a dragon on it ages ago. This had to have been 2015, 2016. Probably, yeah. And I'm sure the chat remember, but it was black. It was black. It had like white trimming, and then it had a dragon on the front. And I've got that and Ronaldo. Um, Big up, Brian. Welcome to the chat. We're talking kits, man. That's what we're talking. We've digressed in the kits. I was supposed to leave 30 minutes ago, but then we started talking about Arsenal kits and your favorite one. Obviously you're a Chelsea guy. So what's your favorite Chelsea kit? I do have two Chelsea kits. I did say that at the beginning. I have one from when they won the league. And I have Didier Drogba because before I became an Arsenal fan, I was a sucker for strikers. So I have Drogba and Sturridge kits that I have them in a closet that stay in a bucket. Fraley says why. I did explain it at the beginning of the stream. That before I became an Arsenal fan, I was just kind of looking and following different teams. And the first English ones that I would watch was Chelsea and Liverpool. And then later on Arsenal, so I would just kind of rotate. And then I actually went to Arsenal Stadium and decided I'd support Arsenal, but I didn't actually truly follow anyone, so I had quite a few jerseys at the time. But yeah, I make no covering up that I have jerseys from other teams, especially those, because that's a part of my journey. It's part of becoming an Arsenal fan, knowing that this club wasn't for me. I looked at Liverpool and I thought they were a good club. I thought Chelsea were a good club, but they weren't the club for me. And it wasn't until I went to Arsenal and I experienced Arsenal that I said, this is the club that I want to follow. So, but I did explain it at the beginning of the live. So when it does come back, you guys can watch that. Freddie said my Henry 03 kit. Bro, finding Henry kits in any year that aren't like 500-600 pounds is so hard. It's so hard to do. Big up DG, going through kits again. So as I said to Brian, give me your favorite kit. Doesn't have to be Arsenal. I did go through mine. Godfrey said a Black Dragon kit was too good. It was, bro, and it pained me because I'm a Sevilla fan. Yeah, it pained me because I'm a Sevilla fan. But I was like, this kit is so clean. And Real Madrid, because Real Madrid are like the biggest team in Spain, them and Barcelona, they always have the better kits. You will find some gems. Like I have, because obviously I lived in Spain, so I've got from the Spanish clubs, I do have a Valencia kit in there, because I mean the white kit with the black lettering and the bat on the back. Yeah, I've got Levante, I've got Malaga, I've got because I lived in Andalusia, so I have a lot of Andalusia kits. Yeah, I want to get a Cadiz kit as well. I don't have Batiste because obviously I ain't gonna rep the ops. But yeah, Bolton 2005, Bolton away 2005. My favorite. Let me look it up. Cadiz, yeah, Bolton. Oh, that's cool. You know what that looks like? The Bolton kit. It looks like the Arsenal kit. The one the darker one with the stripes on it. Yeah, but that's cool, bro. I like that. Reebok's jazzy, bro. I have Girona, PSG, and Bayern kits, but they're all gifts when my parents traveled to that city. So Fraley, that's what I used to do as well, right? So, and I still do it. I just don't do it for Prem teams, because obviously now that I'm an Arsenal fan, and I live in England. What I look like going, being an Arsenal fan, going into Manchester United and buying a United jersey ain't happening. But when I go abroad, I still do. Um, so usually, if I go to a new city or a new country, I'll try to buy a football kit. I'm a merch whore, bro. I love it. I'm a football collector of kits. So usually, if they have one, the problem is like the last couple countries I went to the Dominican Republic. They don't really have one that you can buy. I went to Romania. They didn't have one in my size, but I will go back and get one. Mexico, funny enough, right? I take that back. Mexico was the first kit that I actually had when I was a kid. Right? Yeah. Mexico was the first kit. It was green. It was the green joint. I think it was the lightning one. The zigzag pattern. Mexico. I did have Mexico as a kid. You reminded me. Because you were talking about the international joints. PSG. But yeah, when it comes to traveling, I travel. No, not that one. Not the one with the face on it. This is old. Like when I was young, it was probably like 2004, 2005. But I did see the one with the face on it. Mexico was probably the first team that I actually watched internationally because I never liked the U.S. team. Even when I was 9 years old, I did not like the U.S. national team. I watched Brazil and they were silky. I watched Argentina. They were all right. Then I watched the U.S. and I was like, ugh. So I was like, my uncle was like, which team do you want to pick? Because I think we were watching like the Copa America or the Gold Cup. And he's like, which team do you want to support? I'll get you the jersey. And I said, Mexico, because they speak Spanish. And they close to Puerto Rico. So that's what I chose. They're close to us. They're close to Puerto Rico. I chose Mexico. So that's who it was. DG said Italy, Brazil, and Argentina shirt 1998. Those are iconic as well, though. Those shirts, man. Brazil, them old school Brazil kids, bro. Yeah. Italy, Argentina. Yeah, they've had some. Argentina's had some bangers, especially with Messi. They had maybe I think great Aussie player. Yeah, Australia. Australia has a couple bangers as well. The yellow joint. They look almost. I want to say they look almost like, but they have like the same. The shirts had the same color scheme as Brazil as well with the green and the green and yellow. Brian said 1984 is my favorite kit because that's when I started supporting Chelsea. Jeez, 1984. So you supported Chelsea, or that's why you said relegation world champs. Yeah, you was supporting Chelsea in the dark days, which I think there is a beautiful thing about that. I think there's a beautiful thing about supporting the club. I've been supporting the Dolphins in the dark days, and we're still there. So yeah, I get it. It's meant to be gold. It's a national color. The Aussie, yeah, it does look. Brian said I'm 53. Yeah, you've seen Chelsea be the pensioners to the top of the mountainside. Hopefully, Brian, I will get to see Arsenal lift a trophy, the big one, before I'm 53. I've only got about 20 years to go, so yeah. And Fraley says I'm 23. Yeah, and I'm in between. I'm 33, so we all in the threes. We all born, in the 3 year. But yeah, man, I'm hoping. But yeah, I love kits, man. I'm a kit guy. I think I love international kits as well because I think international kits for me they have a little bit more of. God says I'm also 23. Look at you. International kits have a little bit more of the country. Like you have a little bit more feeling. Like I'm gonna do you know what? I want you guys Tuesday 8:15 my time if you're available. Come over to the Waffle House because part of the World Cup kit I'm gonna actually take out some of my international kits, the ones, and I'm gonna show them to you guys, the ones that I have, some of my favorites. So I'll probably take out about 4 or 5, and I'll show them to you because I like the international kits, man. I've got France, I've got Spain, I've got the Spain one from when they won the World Cup, after won the World Cup. I've got a Puerto Rico one in there. Who else do I have? Do I have Germany? I got so many. It's hard to it's hard to do it. But I got so much. Guyver said, all I've seen in FA Cup, I need the major. I'm with you. I'm with you. Fred says, technically I watched Invincibles, but I was a baby. Yeah. Brian says they should win the league this season, even if they don't bottle it. Yeah, Brian. As you know, I know you deep down would probably want to see us bottle it, but neutrally speaking, it's I don't see how we can bottle it now. I don't see. There is a way. Arsenal, if there's any team, Arsenal can find a way. But just how everyone's playing and who we've got to play, if we do, it'd be an epic meltdown, and I'll be here, and then Brian will be over here saying, "Damn, it's tough," But hey, we'll be here, and like Freda said, big if that, and it's good. This is what I like about the community because you got such a range of ages, right? And Brian, since you're in here, this is an Arsenal show, but it's divulged, so we'll let it happen. Brian, what's your best moment? What's your best moment of being a Chelsea fan, right? And I know you'll probably say like the Champions League and stuff, but the reason I asked, right, and if you're still in here, you're 53 years old. When you were 23, like these guys, did you ever see Chelsea becoming what they became? Like when you were 23. Like, did you ever see Chelsea becoming world champions, Champions League winners? Like, what was your mindset? Did you ever see this happening? And what's your biggest moment as a Chelsea fan? Because my biggest moment as an Arsenal fan is the FA Cup. That was my biggest moment. Beating Chelsea, FA Cup. It would have been the Europa League if we hadn't just gotten bopped off the park. But yeah, it would have been that's my greatest moment as an Arsenal fan, to be honest. Recently, and a lot of people will say it, one of my best moments was Real Madrid. I was at a pub eating wings, and I was like, I was choked because I was like, I can't believe this has happened. I can't believe this has happened. And then, yeah, then it happened again, and I was like, I can't believe that. After that Real Madrid, I thought we were gonna win. I thought we were gonna win the league, but we didn't. Fraley said, "Who's your favorite NFL player of all time?" I talked about this in the Waffle House last week because we talked about NFL. Zach Thomas. Zach Thomas from Miami Dolphins, linebacker. I showed on the Waffle House. I have 2 of his jerseys. Him and Jason Taylor were the reason I got into football. The reason I play the position I play. I was a linebacker at first, but Ray Lewis is a close second because of the University of Miami. I grew up. When I grew up, Ray Lewis had already gone to the league, but you had Ed Reed, you had Sean Taylor, you had hitters at the University of Miami, you had some legends, and we were winning championships. So I liked a lot of those guys. Yeah, it was that. I love how this went from being an Arsenal show to an everything show. But yeah, it was that. It was that. Uh, Fred said, to be fair, I love the women's UCL final because I was in Barcelona around Barca fans, gassing it and pissing them off. Yeah. And you know what's great? That's great. The women's game is that big as well. Because I think the women's game, I think where the one place I think Arsenal dropped the ball when it came to the women's game, the one place I think they dropped the ball is turning Highbury into flats instead of giving it to the women. And that's one thing that I think that Everton has done right. Everton said Goodison Park is a part of our history, and it will remain part of our history as the women's home. As the women's game grows, Goodison Park will be there. And I think that's beautiful, bro. And I think that Arsenal could have done that. I know they had to pay for the stadium and all that, but I feel like they could have been ahead of the curve by saying the women don't have to play at the Emirates. They can play at our home and still have it be our home and still have tours and still have that connection to both. You know, I think it could have been a thing, but yeah, I think we missed the ball on that, but no point in crying over spilled milk. But I love the women's team. I love what they're doing, and I hope they continue winning as well. Godfrey said, yeah, Madrid was special. I never saw that result coming. And I didn't see it either, man. I didn't see it either. I know that people always talk about, oh yeah, you know, Arsenal don't lose to Real Madrid, but they are Real Madrid. They are Real Madrid, and they can win on their day. So yeah. Godfrey said, do you watch the NBA? No, but I follow. I'm a Heat fan, so my collection is also Heat jerseys. I got Miami jerseys out the yin yang, bro. Like, I'm a Miami boy. I've got Dwayne Wade. I've got Hassan Whiteside. I got a Heat Shaq jersey. Do I have Bosch? I think I have a Bosch jersey in there as well. Yes, I have a LeBron James jersey that I've stuffed in a corner because I don't want to look at it. Who else do I have? I have Bam Adebayo, and I also have Tyler Hero. I'm a sucker for the Vice joints. I love the Vice jerseys. So yes, Godfrey, I got the Vice jerseys. I got a Tim Duncan jersey in there. I have, who else I got in there? You know, I got a couple. I'm a sports fanatic, right? And football is my passion. Not just football, but American football. So majority of my collection is American football and football. I do have basketball. I got a couple of baseball jerseys in there because I like the Marlins. And I have a hockey jersey as well. So yeah, I'm a Miami boy through and through, man. I'm a South Florida kid. So yeah. Brian said we won the FA Cup in 1997 because I hadn't seen each other apart from 2 full members cups and a Division II title. And you know what? That's what I wanted to get to. And that's interesting that you said that as well, Brian, because I think a lot of newer fans will probably point to the Champions League and stuff. And, you know, because I live near Portsmouth, and I hear a lot of Portsmouth fans talk about the FA Cup still. Like, yeah, it's good winning championship, but that FA Cup is big to them. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, when you haven't won a trophy. And this is why I think that, honestly, I think that when Arsenal do, and I'm going to say win. You guys are getting me. But when Arsenal win the trophy, for a lot of fans, for Godfrey, for Fraley, for me, like a guy who haven't seen it, I think it'll be the biggest thing in the world, bro. I think it'll be something that, you know, for me, right, growing up, I was a huge Heat fan because they were the sport that I could probably follow easiest, because the Dolphins sucked. And the Hurricanes I watched, but I was still too kind of young. You know, 2005, I was about 12, so I was really into sports. And I was really into basketball. And we won in 2006, when we won that first championship with Shaq and Wade and Alonzo Mourning, you know, his swan song. Like, we won that championship. Bro, the feeling that I felt, I can't explain it. The jubilation. Like, talking to people on the street. We're champions, bro. We're champions of basketball. And it was huge. So I get it. I get it 100%. When, you know, you talk about not winning for a long time and then winning, getting over the line, it's an amazing feeling. So yeah, I feel that 100%, Brian. Fred said they're the most successful women's team in the world. Yep. Fat tiebreak should have been given to the women's. It's an iconic ground. But one thing on that, Godfrey, one thing that I do like though is when Henry went back, he said, "I will always be the top scorer of Highbury," and I feel like I wouldn't want to take that away from him. I wouldn't want to see that taken away from him because Henry, it kind of brought Arsenal back into the limelight, back into some beautiful things. And if it weren't for him being gassed, we would be talking about how we won the Champions League as well. So I think if there's any person that deserves to have that feeling, then it's Thierry Henry. Fred says, I'm a Seahawks fan, so gas when they won it. Yeah. Let's not talk about American football. I'm still waiting to win my first playoff game in 25 years. Brian says, as Houston Oilers to Tennessee Titan, Warren Moon is my favorite. Yeah, Moon was special as well. And we go into that, and I spoke about that on the Waffle House as well. I spoke about it because Arsenal are going to be where they are. Like the Dolphins, if our owner decided he could move it, and I think that's the tough thing. Like imagine you love the Houston Oilers, you backed them, you were at every game, and then they just up and move to Tennessee, and you don't have a team. Like that's the thing that I don't like about the NFL. That's the thing that I don't like about American sports in general. You can just say, I don't want to do it. I move my team. I move somewhere else. I don't like that. College football I love because the University of Miami will always be the University of Miami. Unless the University of Miami goes under, and then we have other universities in Miami. But the University of Miami is never moving to Fort Lauderdale. It's never moving to Tampa. It's going to be in Miami. So, yeah, that's where I am with that. Because they're tiny. God said I might actually cry for real. I might. We witnessing the Prem will be so special. Yeah, man, it's seeing your team win a trophy. Like I was emotional when the Panthers won, cause ice hockey. I watched them when they were made. A lot of Florida teams are relatively young. Like the Heat came around in '88. The Heat came around in '88. The Panthers were late '90s as well. So were the Marlins. They were late '90s. Or no, they were early '90s, I think, or mid '90s. I think 90, 94, 95 maybe. But a lot of the Miami teams came a little bit later. So for the Heat to win, they being a thing from 1998 to win in 2006, I mean, you winning in the first 20, 30 years of your franchise history. The Marlins winning 2 World Series in the first 30 years of their franchise history. Like, the Dolphins won, and the Dolphins became a thing in 1960, and in 72, 73 they went undefeated. So, like, it's a Miami thing for you to win in the first, 10, 15 years and not win anything else. So, but the Panthers, I followed when I was a kid, and then to see them actually get over the line, I'm so proud as a Panthers fan as well. Where am I? Last one I watched was that Patriots one, so I know pain. Yeah. Pete Carroll should have just given it. Pete Carroll should have just given it to Marshawn Lynch, man. I don't know what he was thinking. I do know what he was thinking, but because I coach American football as well. Bro, if my running back has the hot hand, you keep feeding him until he has no legs left, right? That's what he does. Brian said, if we move from Stamford Bridge, we reduce the capacity to give it to the women's team. Fred says you don't owe the women's team, you sold them. Since Brian's in here, Chelsea are in a bit of a sticky situation. Because I feel like Chelsea's American owners have come in and they just have not listened or paid attention to their American compatriots or anything. They just come in and tried some stuff, and Chelsea almost seems like it's a money grab. And as a Chelsea fan, and it's the problem that I have, and I'm American through and through. So, hey, I'm American. I'm from America. But the one thing that I do not like is American ownership of sports, and that's my current clubs as well. I think I'm very lucky with a couple of my teams. Like the Panthers ownership is good. The Heat ownership, the Arisons, they're good because they want to win. They put Pat Riley in there, and he's a winner, right? He has gotten a little bit past it now, but he's a serial winner, bro. That's what he does. He won. They brought that guy in. When it comes to Miami sports, I trust those guys. NFL owners, I don't think my owner wants to win. I think he might be turning that way, but the man built an F1 track. He built, he built a tennis joint. Like he's hosting concerts. It's a money thing. He doesn't care about the on-field product, and that's the thing that's the problem that I have. Big up, Mr. Joshi. That's the problem that I have with American owners because I don't feel like they care about the sport. I don't feel like Chelsea's owner cared about Chelsea as a club. They care about what Chelsea can provide for them, how they can make money, how they can keep the business going. And that's the same thing with Arsenal owners, Liverpool, and United. That's how it was. Liverpool are a little bit different because Lisa Fenway Group have put football people in there. And I think Liverpool fans are a little bit more vocal than others. So I think that if, Liverpool fans don't like what they see, then they'll just empty out Anfield. So, yeah. But I don't like American owners in non-American sport. I don't like it because I don't feel like they care about the sport itself. I feel like they care about how much money they can make and how they can grow the business. And, say what you want about Roman. Say what you want about the Saudis. They put money in there. Roman put his money in there. Roman wanted a good football product. That's why he kept recycling managers. I want to win. I want to win. The Saudis, they want to win. They pour money into it. They want to win. They do stuff for their community, around the stadium and stuff. The people, Manchester area, they say has gotten better. But they put money toward the football product. American owners, they don't care about the football product. I think where we have gotten lucky as Arsenal is because Josh is trying to prove to Stan that he can have a good product, that he can make us work. And I think Josh is eager to prove himself, and that's why he's got a more front-end approach than Stan, because Stan is only concerned about making Rams money. The Rams are his baby. So if it ain't the Rams, he don't care about it. He's got us for investments. So yeah, I don't like them in there. And it's sad to see, Manchester United. It's sad to see Chelsea. It's sad to see, now Spuds. And Spuds got, I think, British ownership, but they just care about the bottom line. As Brian said, Clear Lake is an investment company. All they care about is their shareholders. Exactly. They don't care about the football product. They care about selling them young players, making more money. And it's sad, bro, because football is probably the most working class sport, or was the most working class sport in the world. You got people from the favelas, from, the African grasslands. Like, you've got some ballers from everywhere. From Australia, from the ghettos of America. Like, you've got footballers from everywhere. And now it's becoming a sport where the average person can't pay to watch. They can't watch. I've already gone through the 3 p.m. thing, but the average person can't afford to watch their club. They can't afford to go to the stadium. And I get it. You have to make it so that you make some money off it to keep the club running. But tell me why this kid right here, right? This kid. Let's just say this kid, right? Arsenal kit, when I first started watching Arsenal, was 55 quid. And I was like, dang, that's expensive. Now, and 55 quid could probably get you a printed shirt. Right? If you caught the right sale. Arsenal kit now is starting at £79. Well, £80. £80. And that's with no no numbers, no patches, nothing. If I wanted the kit with a patch on it, if I wanted the kit with a number on, if Yakarez number thing wasn't free, I'm looking at 110 plus for a shirt. And that's not even the authentic shirt. That's just the replica joint. The authentic one to run you 120, 130 pounds. $150. So how do we go from 55 to 150? That's crazy, bro. And I'm sure the problem is the same at Chelsea. I'm pretty sure, Brian, when you started watching, you could probably get a shirt for 20 quid. In the 80s and 90s. Even the on sale shirts, you might be lucky if you get one for 30. And that's crazy to me. Football has become a money sport, man. And I hate it. I hate it. I can't stand it. I want to be able to watch my club. I want everyone to be able to watch the club. I don't want to feel like a customer. I don't want to feel like, I have to pay for a membership. You pay for a membership every year, what, £40? And you might not even get a ticket to see a match. That's crazy to me. So, yeah, football has lost its way, man. It's lost its way. But, let me see, because this thing's behind. See if there's any more chats. Owners, managers, and players come and go. The one thing is constant. Exactly. And I think the biggest problem that we have in fandom is people don't get on the same page. Look at you look no further than Arsenal. If Arsenal fans banded together, they could get this ownership out of here. But we won't. Because you got some fans saying, oh, they're doing enough. Some fans, I love the manager. Oh, some fans, I hate the manager. Like, we'll never be together. And I see it differently, and like I said, I don't condone violence. But Sevilla, when they were losing, guess what? Their fans, they stormed the training ground and change was made. People start walking out of stadiums, not buying, merch, not buying food. The owners will take notice. But we can never agree anything. We can never get people together. So as long as we're fractured as football, the only time that I've ever seen footballs come together was the Super League. The Super League, Chelsea fans, Spuds fans, Arsenal fans, United fans, every fan when the Super League came out said, nope, we're not having it. And we got together and owners had to say, nope. That's it. Big up Fraley, bro. Gotta go out. Yeah, I'm closing up anyway. So, yeah, man. The issue is we're never on the same page and we can never get a consensus. But the one time we did, change happened. So, yep, that was an ammo check that evolved into something else. But thank you so much, guys, for stopping by. Let me shout out who stopped by, because a lot of people stopped by. If I miss you, sorry. Rick Jar, Fraley, Views, Benny Blanco, Vigilante, Godfrey, Jonathan, big up the new Arsenal fan. Brian, thanks for stopping by. Mr. Joshi, Fraley. Thank everybody for putting chats in, speaking to me. My next bit, as I said, I'm a little bit more free this week, so I will be back for Tuesday. He said, because my surname is D'Souza, when I first bought a Chelsea kit, they didn't do apostrophes, they just did a space. That's crazy. But Brian, if you're around, on Tuesday, 8:15 p.m. UK time, stop by, because we're gonna talk World Cup kits. We're gonna talk kits. I'm going into a kit mania. It'll be 8:15, and because I don't have to cook, because I don't have to do house duties, then we might just stay on until we decide we don't want to anymore. So 8:15 Tuesday during the Waffle House, talking about the World Cup. I'll bring out some of my international kits. We're going to talk about kits. We're going to talk about what's going on with the World Cup. We're going to talk about who I think is going to win it. You know, some of the qualifiers as well, like Jamaica. And yeah, we're just going to have a good old time. Stop by the Waffle House, Brian, Fraley, Godfrey, Mr. Joshy. If you guys are around on Tuesday, 8:15, that's 3:15 for my South Florida Gunners. If you guys are around, please stop by. We'll have a jolly old time. We'll have a good chat. And we'll do what I do best, waffle. So, as always, thank you for stopping by. Remember, like, share, and if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. It's free. I appreciate it as well. So, you guys take it easy, and I'll see you the next time.